that. Guess what? It's part 2. See, I told y'all I wasn't gonna leave y'all hanging. It's part 2 of the plug. Fell in love, baby. Part 2. Anyway, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you ain't already. Why? I don't know why. Go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and drop me some hearts in a comment, and let's get into this story time, child. Baby, woo. Okay, so on the last video, I was telling you about how, I met Mr. Chinky. Okay, I met Mr. Chinky, and baby, if you have not watched part 1, you're gonna have to go out of this and watch that and come back in so you don't mix nothing. And make sure you hit my subscriptions, check out my store, Diva Supply, shop with the queen. I got some good things up there. Okay, and also follow me on all my socials, y'all. The plug, feeling love. Okay, so let's get into this. This is part 2. So anywho, so he basically told me at this time he'd been seeing me at the games, popping up on my job. Not even popping up, he would tell me, he would text me and say he was coming. And he wanted to start spending some time with me. So I'm like, okay, we can do that. And so at the time his license was revoked, so anytime he had a driver. And so I got introduced on this one particular day, and things has changed now, but this girl used to come sign me out. He said it was his cousins. It was his cousin or whatever, like, but really it was like his best friend. And he was like, this is my best friend or whatever. She gonna come sign you out, but she signed me out as though she was my aunt. And so at the end of the day, she would sign me out. Sometimes she'll sign me out at like $240 or something like that. She'll just sign me out, and then I'll go with him. So I'll be gone from like $245. But y'all, check this out. Anytime I left, y'all, I was a nerd. I would go get my homework first, not feeling no class to deal with no dude. Y'all was never doing that. But I would go get my homework from my other teacher. Said I gotta leave early today, I got this something going on. I'll make up something, child, and I get on out of there, because I was excited about actually spending some time with him. But y'all, this was so dangerous to do because I didn't know him like that. I knew he came in, and by this time, let's say 8 months had went by. So I'm very invested in this dude. Every time he's around, I don't have to pay for nothing. But he just a cool dude. Like, he always made me laugh, always got something sweet to say to me. So I was enjoying the attention. So what ended up happening was he was like, we divided his plan where I'ma just come chill with him and her. So because he had her in a situation, I'm thinking like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? If anything happens, she a girl just like me, she'll have my back. And so he had came to the game with her before, and so I got to meet her, so I would feel comfortable with her. And so, she would drive because she had the license and he didn't, and he used to pay her to make moves, like drive with him to make moves or whatever, busting plays, because he was a drug dealer. Okay, so what I'm saying, he had to sometimes go to it, or people came to him or whatever. So this particular day he was like, look, I got to go out of town, it's only 45 minutes away, you riding, or I could see you another time. And so went and signed me out, and now you talking about something, is you riding, or I see you at another time. Baby, this don't work like that, baby. I'm already out. So what are you doing? Do I need to go back into school? Because if I do that, I ain't never coming nowhere with you again. And I was like, no, I'm riding or whatever. He was like, you hungry? And I'm like, yeah. And then so we go get something to eat. He was like, well, we gonna ride or whatever. And so we end up in Kinston, North Carolina, which is like 20 minutes away from where we was at. And he took me to KFC. We get something to eat, and he basically go in, I tell him what I want, she tell him what she want, we go in. So she briefed me in the car. She was like, look, I'm his best friend or whatever, but he's not as fast as you think he is. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She was like, you could really come up on him. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And so she was like, just pay attention, you could really come up on him. He's a come up on, he's a come up on type dude. And I'm like, okay. I didn't know, because I want sketchy. You know what I'm saying? I want a sketchy individual. The only thing sketchy I was doing was having a roster with 9 dudes over the line to all of them. That's about as much as I was doing. And I felt like it was harmless because dudes do the same thing to women. So, and I wasn't married to nobody. So I just felt like, what is she talking about? I had never heard nobody talk like that, for real. I was just kind of raised like a certain way, and it won't scheme and plotting, and it definitely was not giving hood how I was raised. So I was like, I had never heard nobody talk like that. She was like, next time we alone, I'm gonna put you on. I'm like, okay, put me on then. I don't know what she talking about, but I'm like, okay, I want her to be my friend because I'm scared to be with this dude myself, for real, because this man is way older than me. What if he try me? What I'm gonna do? So I was like 5'1", this man 6'3", this man is a man. What I'm gonna do if he try me? For real, I need your help, sis. So yeah, we gonna do whatever you talking about. And so then he came out with his back. He went in there, but it also was a play. He met somebody there in there. So he got our food and everything, but he had like this big backpack on him. So he get down, he put the backpack on the floor. We both are sitting in the back. She's driving. And he was like, well, we're gonna go up Rocky Mount or whatever. We're gonna go to Rocky Mount because the play is in Rocky Mount or whatever. You just ride, chill, eat your food, relax, chill, everything on me. And I'm like, okay. And he was like, we're gonna hit the mall too because I see you really like them coats with them fur on them. But see, stuff like that, I didn't want him to buy because that stuff like that at the time, it was expensive, y'all. So that stuff like that, the coat that I wanted was like $120, and that was not expensive. You know, $120 ain't really no money for real. It's a lot if you ain't got it, but I felt like it was expensive because the stuff he was dropping on me was change. You know what I'm saying? It was just change from the what's the name. So I felt like this was something that my daddy used to talk about. Like, ain't nothing for free. Don't let him buy you nothing. You know, somebody buy you something big or whatever, because then they gonna want something. I won't try to do nothing. And so he was like, we're gonna go to the mall and, you know, I'm gonna throw a bag on you. And I'm like, okay. I had never heard nobody talk like that. Matter of fact, in my house, there was no slang talking at all. You know what I'm saying? You know, very proper language was spoken. So that's why I'm like, throw a bag on me. Oh, okay. I don't know what he's talking about for real. I hadn't never heard of the term, but she smiled about it. He was like, I got you too. I'm gonna throw a bag on you too, because you know you been coming through on the driving lately. And I'm thinking like, maybe that's a good thing, but I'm thinking like, throw a bag on me. Feel something up and hit me with it. Like I didn't know, but she smiled and giggled, so I guess it was a good thing. And she, like, yeah, I got you. So she picked up two or two that I was not a hood chick. So she began to explain slang to me so I could understand. She was giving me a mini lesson every time we was together. So either way, we stopped at this gas station, and when we stop at this gas station, he get out, and when he come back, he got another bag. That bag disappeared, and there's another bag, okay? All right, so there's another bag that appeared. When he gets in the car, he unzips the bag, and this bag is like a duffel bag, but it's full of money. I have never, ever in my life seen that much money in my life, okay? So then I get, so you a big time drug dealer. You really supplying the city. Oh, okay. So I don't need to be in this car, cause do you got another one of them bags for whatever you switched out? Because now I'm scared, because I'm 45 minutes away, and back in the day we didn't have like the iPhone could track you, find me stuff, and I realized that if I ran outside this car, I did not know how to tell my daddy where I'm at. And that's all I thought about. Like, I started looking at things around me to see if I recognized them, because I hadn't been to Rocky Mount before, but he said it was only 45 minutes away, and it ain't that far, and we're gonna be right back. So I'm thinking like, oh yeah, I'm possibly kidnapped. I don't know my way around for real. So he just see my face, and he had like, I got worried. He was like, Shawty, you don't need to worry. This is my money. This is my money. Everything cool. Ain't nothing in the car. There's no drugs or nothing in the car. I just got rid of that. Ain't no worry. We cool. If the police start, they ain't gonna look through no bag. They ain't gonna look through no bag unless we got drugs. We ain't got no drugs in the car. You can relax. You relax. Your man got you. Your man got you. And I'm like, okay, cool. So he was like, help me count these though. This man kept taking out money. I'm thinking like, man, you need a money counter. And he was like, where can I get one of them? Amazon, baby, because baby, this a lot. And he was like, we gonna be good business partners together, because see, you a cashier and I got the cash. All I need you to do is count it. So I literally counted it, y'all. It took me forever. By the time I finished counting, we were back close to where I live, and that's 45. Y'all, it took me 40 this 10. Have it ever took you 45 minutes to count some money? Huh? Did have it? Because it never took me that long to count no money. And he wanted me to wrap the money up in thousands. So that's what I was doing. I was wrapping up in thousands, wrapping them up in thousands. As I would count, wrapping up in thousands. He was like, you fast with it too. You fast with it. So he went behind me and counted like 3 stacks. to make sure it was 1,000. I was like, why you want him 1,000? He was like, I just like to have my bank rolls in 1,000. You know what I'm saying? So that way I can keep up with how much I got. So when I finished counting, it was $50,000. And I was like, if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's 50. So this is $50,000 off of one bag of whatever was in that bag. He was like, yes ma'am. He was like, I don't play. I was like, okay. He was like, oh, that's a low day. This ain't no big payoff or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday, man, I made 100. I was like, well, what do you do with your money? And he was like, if I tell you I'm at the key, well, don't tell me then. By all means, I don't need to know for real. Because at this time, baby, I just thought, okay, well, you got all this money. You must be a dangerous man. Or who gave you, why they give you all this money? Okay. And so then, he was like, look, I have to make a play. I don't have time to take you to the mall today, but the next time you have a game, let me know and I'll take you to the mall. So we hug, and by this time, he would always try to kiss me, but I used to always tell him that, you know, I don't kiss on mouth. And he'd be like, why? Because they make your feelings and emotions, and I'm still feeling you out. And I just feel like I don't think it's a good idea for us to kiss yet. So he used to always kiss me on the cheek. He would always kiss me on my cheek, or he'll kiss me on my neck. But I would never let a man kiss me in the mouth, because I'm just like, because I already know if I get the lip locking with you, you gonna get harassed. Because I remember that's how I got broke up the first time. I used to slaw this man down to be all in his, tickling his tonsils, like all in his mouth. And I remember that every time I used to do that, his middle part would rise up. And then, you know, he seemed mad afterwards because he would just keep having to push it down. And I did not want nothing to rise up to you, because you know what you're doing. We might be playing and didn't know what you knew, and I didn't want his middle part to rise up with me. But y'all, I know that sometimes when he sat beside me, he would touch my thigh, his middle part would rise up. I remember sometimes I would put my hair up in a ponytail. You know, I used to put your hair up in a ponytail. You put the thing in your mouth or something. You ain't thinking that you just putting your hair up in a ponytail. You would do this little number right here. Well, you don't know if you bald head, but anyway, I would notice that it was little stuff that I did that I won't trying to do nothing to him that would make him hard. And I would see that, and I was just like, woo, I gotta be careful around him. I'll just sit like this. Maybe that don't make him. But he was see him, so I was a child, and anything will make him that he won't just looking at me put that ponytail. He probably looking at my little pecks and just and wait till I get hold of her for real. We're gonna play her little game, and then I'm gonna get hold of her. But anyhow, going on. So he was like, I got you, mama. I'm gonna make sure that you good, straight, whatever you want. If you want anything. And then he was like, you want a stack for counting all this money for me? And then I look up at the friend, because she turned around like, yeah, take it. And I'm thinking, take it. I'm like, nah, I don't want that, baby. I can't pay you $1,000 back. He was like, I don't want that. I'm like, my dad always told me that if somebody give you some money, they gonna want something. I ain't ready to do nothing like that. So I'm like, man, take it. He was like, I'm not gonna do nothing to you, I promise. That's your money. If you do something for somebody, they supposed to do something for you. You counted all this and rubber band is like, take it. Like, for real, I don't want nothing for you. So I was like, all right, I take it. So y'all, I took the money, but I would not touch that money. I wouldn't touch, I wouldn't pay or nothing. And so the next time, that's kind of how it was. We would go somewhere, he'll run a play, he'll get a backpack from somebody, and then he'll go sell that backpack. He will put some money off to the side, and that's how it was. And he will have me to count it. And baby, I would count it all types. But sometimes it was $100K, sometimes it was $50K, sometimes it was $80K. And then I was like, I'm about to start asking for stuff. This man ain't touching nobody. We just running. This was like my part-time job. Like, we just running different places. And y'all, I was still working at Bojangles. But on the days that they had games, sometimes I'd be off. And when I was, so this was not a back-to-back occurrence. Like, so in a month's time, I would see him twice. You know what I'm saying? We'll do a lot of talking in between, because he never missed a day. We always talk. We was either talking on the phone, or we were, we was changing the text messages. But it was spaced out with the visits. So one particular day, why I ended it all. Let's just go jump into it. Okay. So we running a play, because I'm telling my friends, yeah, we be running plays. So every time we ran this play, if he sold, I got a percentage. So if I helped him band up the money or whatever, I don't know what you would call it, I call it band. If I helped him band up the money, he would always give me something. And then he was like, you need to start telling me what you want. You don't never ask. He said, you the only girl I ever been around, and you ain't never asked for nothing. You need to start asking for something. You my girlfriend. You need to start asking me for something. I be like, I still got the money you first gave me. And y'all, I was supposed to spend the small amounts I would get from him, but I wouldn't spend the stacks. And so he said, you do. And I would take it out. I remember I took it out. At this time, I had like $5,000. And I was so scared to spend it because I feel like, I don't want this man think I'm going to do that because I'm not going to do that. And I'm like, here go your money if you want it back. He was like, why do you do that all the time? I don't want, did you see all this money I got? I don't want that money back, girl. This money in different accounts. Like, I don't want this money back. Please go spend it, and I will keep the money. So one particular day, something happened. Something broke or something. I think my laptop or something broke or something, and I needed like $500 to get it fixed or whatever. And I used that money, and then I told him what I used the money for, and then I gave him $500, and he was like, I don't want that money. Anytime I try to give it to him, by the time I get back home, it be in my pocket or stuff in my pocketbook. He did not want the money. He wanted money back. So this one particular day, it's a regular day, we was gonna go, I can't remember where we were going. He told me that we were gonna go an hour away. I think he said Fayetteville. It was, the destination said on the GPS that we were an hour and 10 minutes away. He was like, but we gonna get you back in time because y'all, they were coming and get me at like 2:45, and we had to be back by 9 o'clock. Could not be a minute late, okay? Had to be back by 8:50. So it was plenty enough time to go up there because that's all we were doing. We go make the play. We ain't stopping. We driving on. But this particular time, it went different. So we go there, we get up there, we always will go get some food first, then go get a bag from somewhere, and then we'll make the play. I don't know whether he was selling. I call him the plug because all the money I saw. I don't know whether he was a plug or not, but he looked like the daggone plug. That's what I can tell you. So, and he was selling backpacks of drugs. And then this one particular day, I never touched a backpack of drugs, but we pulled up to this gas station, and this man called, it's a white man called. He just sounded like a white man, and he was like, we're gonna call him Tom. So Tom was like, hey yo, we need a party pack, we need this, we need to see, we need to, he named it like 10 different drugs, and I'm thinking like, I heard some of them before, but I don't know. But anyway, Tom is like, hey, we need this and this and this. Then after that, 10 minutes after that, he called back and said, we need 2 bags. He said, you realize that's 2K. That's 200K to get the whole bag. He told me something. Yeah, we can go half. So he said, we can go half. And he talking to somebody in the back. He told me some 50 people. No, he was like 1,000 people is coming to this party. This is a big party. We got a lot of stuff going on. We need to make sure we have everything, and certain people dabbing everything to close this deal. We need this, okay? And I'm sitting here thinking like, this sound like a setup, because who gonna need it much? And I would just tell them I don't got it, because I just feel like, even with me being a little child, I realized this sound crazy, okay? Who want this one? So he get off the phone, and so he both effing it out. Like, this dude, he done bought for me twice. I think something up. I'm like, this don't sound right. This don't sound right. Yeah, so we have a visitor. So therefore, with that visitor, y'all say hey to baby no, and say hey baby no. Okay, he just woke up for a night, so we're gonna have to pause, take a brief intermission. Yeah, and when he go to sleep tonight, we're gonna finish this story down. So that break took almost all day, y'all. So basically, little son woke up, and then after that, we had to wait till he went to sleep. So now let's get back in the story. And I want to just make this disclaimer, because I was listening back to the playback. I haven't edited anything yet, but I was listening back to the playback, and I want to let y'all know I do not condone, the livelihood of a drug dealer. Not no time did I participate in selling nothing, giving nothing, exchanging nothing. All I did was be a scared little child in the back of a car where somewhere I won't supposed to be. Okay, I just want to put the disclaimer out, because I don't want nobody to watch this be like, yeah, this the life, or oh my God, she was part of this too, But honey, real life, young girls, if you watching this, if we got stopped and I was in the car, I could have got in trouble too. even though I would have told everything. Look, hey, this is a situation. Either way, he probably would have got in more trouble because I'm a little young girl that you courting, and I got proof that we're in a relationship or supposed to be in something, whatever we supposed to be in. And then boom, you got me all out here like this. I ain't had nothing to do. I just did what I was told, okay? And with that defense, boom. Was I aware that he was selling drugs? I understood that there was drugs in the backpack. Was that wrong? Yes, it was wrong. But I just felt like that wasn't none of my business. You know what I'm saying? I was just there for the ride and a good time and trying to spend time with him. But I just want to put it out there because I don't want nobody to think like I condone. No, I don't condone it. I condone getting your money, how you live, but not breaking no laws, okay? Because, baby, I don't condone that, okay? Because too many of our black men right now is locked up in prison because they made the decision to go get that fast money instead of making a plan to get some legit money and be still out here with their family, okay? Anyway, let's jump back into the story time. So like I said, I was making plays with this young man. Literally, I was just sitting in the back seat, and if he asked me to count, I would. If he didn't, I didn't. I was on my phone the whole time. I tried my best. I didn't want to pay attention to anything. Didn't want to recognize no faces. I wasn't trying to make no eye contact, but I heard everything, okay? So basically, he was on the phone with the man. The man was saying he had a big party. A lot of important people was coming to this party. He needed this. But to me, he kind of sounded like the police. Just me, to me, it just sounds crazy that he needed all of this all of a sudden fast. And I'm like, I wouldn't do it if I was you, okay? I just wouldn't do it if I was you. But hey, so what ended up happening, we get there and he was like, look, I don't have that. He went on and told him, hey, I don't have that. What you need, I only came down here with this. So he was like, well, I can ride back with you, and can you go get it? And then I would just Uber back. So I was like, that sound crazy too. But hey, you do what you supposed, you just do up. Just make sure you get me home. And so when we get there, they make the exchange. He gives the bag to another guy. They give the money. It's the same different thing. He give me the bag or whatever. He gives me the bag or whatever. I don't count it. We don't bring out no money. So now it's like this. I'm riding in the front because before I'm always riding in the back with him. Now because he has got in the car, he basically was like, just ride in the front, and then it's gonna give off that maybe you her sister or something. So we ride in the front. I don't make no contact with it. No, like I don't turn around or nothing. I literally just see the man getting. It's a white man. He get in the back. So now I'm like, okay, this is crazy. So we get on the open road or whatever. Now, first of all, the craziest thing that happened was when we at the store. And this is why I thought that this was a setup from the police, because all of a sudden you ask for all this money, all of a sudden you want him to take you where you keep your stuff, and then all of a sudden they could just leave on around. They're gonna Uber down. Why don't they just follow you? Like I just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? It was getting police. So when we pulled up to the gas station, cause they did these transactions at the gas station or whatever, all of a sudden like 5 police cars pulled up. And so he told me, Pretty, that's what he used to call me, Pretty, look, if something go down, he gave me a phone number. I don't know who phone number this is. If something go down, because it's too many police officers pulling up, and I got a lot of stuff, I don't never put you in what I got in my backpack. But it ain't no candy in my backpack. So I don't want you to get in no kind of trouble, but I do want you to get home safely. He was like, this is my sister's number, so if anything happen, you call this number. She already know you with me, and then she will come and get you, okay? She don't live that far from him, and she will make sure you get home safely. So he automatically told me, go inside and go in the bathroom and just wait there. If you don't hear nothing from me within like 30 minutes, just stay in the bathroom and call my sister. And so I go in there and I'm like scared, because like even though, what I'm saying, maybe it's wrong for me to talk to him, I still have built a connection with him, and I don't want him to get in no trouble for real. I just felt like he was a cool dude looking out for me from now, and he never did nothing to me to hurt me or any kind of way. But I just did not want him to get in no trouble, because I knew if they got that backpack, it'd be over for him. So I did what he told me to do. I go, the girl that was driving or whatever, she stays in the car, right? So then, boom. Okay. So then, boom, I go in the bathroom. About 20 minutes, I get a knock on the door, and he said, "Pretty, come on, let's go." And so that's what we do. We get in the car, and we go. There's a white man in the back. I can kind of see him. You know, if you look, you see that. You know, he's driving. He gave me the same speech in the store. If we get pulled over with something like that, just say you was a hitchhiker, we picked up or whatever, and you needed a ride, you know, to your home or whatever. We offered to give you that ride. Tell them that you don't know nothing about what we got going on. Because again, I don't want you to get in no trouble. And basically, he didn't want to get in no trouble, you know, because he can get in trouble because I was underage. So I'm like, okay, we got the store together. He was like, okay. I was like, if you think that this is a setup, why are you trying to do business with them? He was like, because this is a big leak and I need this money. I'm like, for what though? You got everything. You got a house, you got 4 cars, your mama said, your baby mama said, you know what I'm saying? Every time, because he would tell me, like, he had a daughter. He would always tell me every time he make a play, he would give her half. Because if anything happened, she was going to help pay for the lawyers. She was going to help, and she would just hold him down, whatever. So, okay. So he would always make sure that his baby mom was good. Mama would have a little something, and then he would give me something if I wanted something. But I never really wanted that. I only took what he gave. So this whole time, you know what I'm saying, I'm like, this thing got serious. So in my mind, I'm like, I said one of them Lord prayers, if you get me out of this situation, I will not deal with this man no more, because now this was fun. This is supposed to be riding out with your man, having fun, spending his money. Now this is turning into, we could do prison time. And baby, I ain't doing nobody prison time, baby. No, y'all doing too much. Now I realize, okay, I'm just a little girl that work at Bojangles, and baby, I don't want no part of all this here. And I was like, Lord, if you just get me back home, I would block this man, or I would send him a nice little text, man, little baby, I'm good, okay? And so, but he ride me. Then a police officer get behind us. Everybody's chest dropped, because I know my chest dropped. And so the white man just started talking to me like, yeah, we all going to jail. And I'm like, why would he say that? Oh, yeah, this is the police for real. He was like, yeah, we all going to jail. A white man in a car full of black people? Yeah, they going to know something up. And so he's tripping. He started saying like, dang, they finna stop us. And then so, Chingy like, just chill out, just relax, stop doing all that moving, just relax, and they'll go around. So then they put the lights on, whoop, whoop. Then, you know, all the siren come on. So I'm like, my heart then fell to my tail hole. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, Jesus, it's over. Like, and so they speed around us right fast. And then like 3-4 other cops speed, you know, by us as well. So I'm like, Jesus, okay, so they not after this. Okay, we can keep going. We kept going. And like I said, we was an hour and 10 minutes. We like an hour and 10 minutes away. So then I'm looking at the GPS to go, and before you know it, we're there. We made our ride or whatever. So they exchanged whatever. He already got the address where we were going to meet at, whatever. And the Uber was there. Like when we were pulling on, the Uber for him was already there. So he literally was not the police. He needed this to make his deal. He really needed his bag or whatever. So they did whatever they did. Like anytime there was any exchange going on, I never looked. I never made, because I don't want to know nothing. If you don't look, you ain't involved. I ain't got nothing. I was on my phone. I can tell you nothing. I don't know. I don't need to this day. I just know he was a white man, and I heard his voice. I couldn't tell you what it looked like, because I was not trying to be involved in nothing. I just knew, like, Lord, if you would get me out of this, I would go home and be that little girl, okay? I'll be that little girl. Okay, so after we get back or whatever, he go get me something to eat. After we get something to eat, he give me a hug, and then he drops me off close to my home, and then I go home. My mama was calling me at this time, like, okay, where you at, whatever, we about to be on the way to the school to pick you up. I'm like, nah, I gotta ride home. She was like, okay, cool, just make sure you here about 9 o'clock. When I got dropped off, y'all, it was like 8:30. So I was like, I was so freaking happy to be home. And so then, like, he was texting me, just let me know when you get inside or whatever. And I'm like, I'm here. And then, like, he was like, all right. And then I text him, like, at like 9 o'clock, because I really, like, I'm like, at school, I'm gonna put together a text. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and text him like a nice little lengthy text message about why I'm done. But I just didn't do it. Like, so the next day, I did not get a good morning text. So I'm thinking like, oh, he probably done, because I was scary, y'all. I was so scary. I was scared of that girl. I was shaking like boo. Maybe he felt like something was going on, but I didn't get a good morning text. And I had been getting a good morning text for by this time. We have been talking for about a good 9 months. So I always got a good morning text. I always got a good morning text. I always got, have a good day. Some kind of affirming, like, I hope you're having a positive day. So that was weird. So I got up, no text from him. And so by now, I'm cutting off my roster little by little, because I'm enjoying this life of there's nothing that I want that I can't get. I even told him at Bojangles, my mama told me I can work only 2 days a week, because I was working 4 days a week. I can only work 2 days a week, and I won't work but 2 days a week because he will supply my pockets. Anytime I'll go somewhere with him, or if I need some money, he'll come in there and, pay for whatever he gonna pay, and I'm gonna get it, that what's the name. So I just was not really working that much. But I still was going to work. So, or he was doing the thing where he would match my check. Whatever I made, he'll match the check. And he'd be like, you don't have to work here no more. You good. But I was like, nah, I can't depend on a man. I was always taught, you don't depend on a man. You depend on yourself and God. So, after that, I'm like, dang, okay. So, no text. Okay, cool. So, maybe he mad at me. And so, that went on for like a couple days. No good night text, no call, no nothing. So, I'm like, that's crazy. So, the third day this happened, the girl that always drove for us or whatever, and we gonna call her Sierra, we gonna say Sierra, the girl that always drove for us, she called me and was like, I'm just let you know that Chingy got locked up. I'm like, Chingy got locked up by the same dudes or whatever. He was like, after he sold them drugs to that big shipment or whatever gave that backpack, because she used to always say that the police was listening and everything. She's like, after he gave that big backpack, like, people started watching his house. And so he noticed that people started watching the house. So the third day had went back. He was real paranoid. He wouldn't go home. So when he went home to get like the rest of another backpack that he had in his home, they ran up on the home. So I don't know what happened or what. All I know is he was locked up. He disappeared from Earth, or my Earth, for about a year. And then he popped back up now. So that was a year. So at that time I was 13. I already turned 14. So by the time he popped back up, I was 15 years old. Nope. I ain't never done nothing sexual with this boy. Never had nothing. The only thing I would let this man do is give me a hug, kiss me on my cheek, kiss me on my neck. So then he texted me. He was like, hey, pretty, how you doing? You remember me? I know it's been a year. I did my time. Woo, woo, woo. And I'm thinking like, I don't know what. I never thought to ask, like, why is you out? If they got you for what I think they got you for. And he was like, no, they got me for a violation or probation or whatever. I only had to do 12 months. I'm good. It wasn't nothing like that. They was trying to press me about some, the situation. But I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he was like, I got good lawyers that just make stuff disappear. So I'm like, oh, okay, But I was telling him, like, yeah, I can't ride nowhere with you no more. The last time I rode with you, like, that ain't mean. You know what I'm saying? As far as, like, that world, that out, listen, I don't want no. He was like, I know you ain't built for that type of life. You know what I'm saying? You my princess, so I know you ain't built for that type of life. So I decided I ain't gonna take you on no more runs with me. I'm like, thank you, because I'm on one. You know what I'm saying? He was like, did you miss me? I was like, I missed your good morning texts. I did. I was really sad about that for a little while, but I got over it. He was like, oh, you got a little man? I said, I talked to a lot of people. I was very honest because I didn't care nothing about him, because of the simple fact I knew his lifestyle, and I knew that, I wouldn't be able to be a part of his life. So I just was saying anything, and I didn't care. So I was just saying anything. But he was like, I want to see you. I was like, well, I work at the same place. I had to go back to my 4 days because you don't fell off. He was like, no, my money back. Where is it? I didn't even hit you up until I got my money together and stuff like that. I was like, well, you act like we based off of money. He was like, but you accustomed to certain things. Like when I come get you accustomed to certain things. Because y'all, every time I see he would always have some kind of gift for me. We always gonna go somewhere. And it was, I ain't gonna say it was a money situation, but I was hanging because he had some. Okay, so I was like, well, I don't want nothing to do with your world. And really, to be honest, I really feel like you need to just get legit, because like that's scary to always had to be looking over your back and stuff like that. And what he was explaining to me, that he had ran into some trouble in the past, so it was really hard for him to get a job. And he had felonies, and at this time I had never heard of a felony. I was like, felonies, with that? It's when you break the law and they give you a F. And they'll give you an F, you know what I'm saying? You can't holler get a job, you can't holler do this. And I said, well, it don't come off after a while. He was like, unfortunately, no. Or you gonna have to do a lot of, you know, pressing the court for it to get off and stuff like that. And I was just like, I felt bad for him, because I'm like, dang, you know, it's hard to get a job. You got a child you got to feed, you know what I'm saying? I was kind of understanding what was going on. So he was like, yeah, you know, growed up, you 15 or whatever. I had my family checking up on you for me, making sure you was good or whatever. I would have her come up there sometime to check to see if you was still working there. She was like, yeah, you was still there or whatever. And so after that, he was like, well, since you don't want to run no plays with me no more, he was like, do you want me to come see you at your job, or do you want me to come such and such? I was like, nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. He was like, nah, I want to see you. I was like, well, just give me a couple of days to think about it. And so he texted me again. He gave me a couple of days. He gave me like 4 days, and then he texted me and was like, well, you thought about it? I'm like, yeah. He was like, why don't you sneak out the house? Now, I will say this. Anybody that's young, don't please listen to me. In the world we live in, if you sneak out the house nowadays, you probably will not make it back. Okay? The only reason why I made it back is because I had a praying mother. Okay? My mama used to pray so hard in the living room. She used to shake the walls. She used to pray in tongues. And she used to pray and be in tears and just cry. And I guess she probably felt like, why is every time I pray, I'm just praying so hard, and I'm just, you know, and she used to walk around the house and just pray and just pray and just pray. And I'm thinking like, child, you is praying for me. You got to be. You is sending angels out to be on post before I made these stupid decisions. But yes, I agreed to sneak out the house because I wanted to see him. I ain't seen him in a while, and I wanted to see him, which I could have just been like, nah, just come see me. What is that? But he was like, nah, I need to really see you. I want to spend time. He was like, I got a gift for you, whatever. And like I said, gifts were my thing. So he was like, I got a gift for you. So he was like, actually, I got like 5 gifts for you, whatever. So you just come outside. He made it seem like, just come outside with me, and just come outside for like 30 minutes. Then you go back inside the house and you be good. So I'm like, okay, cool. And so when he said that or whatever, I'm like, okay, cool. So I came outside. I waited to about 12 o'clock at night. Snuck outside, hardest thing ever to get out there too. Because, you know, when you trying to creak out of the house, stepping through the hallway, everything make a noise. The floorboards make a noise. I'm like, why? When the floorboards start making noise? Everything. The doors, trying to get the screen door. You trying to open it. I'm like, Lord, I'm having heart attacks, small heart attacks. Then I finally shut the door behind me. Then I get the big door shut. And I'm like, oh my God. So I finally get outside and I take off running. And he's part where she's part, because he done brought, you know, a homegirl with us who or whatever. That part at the end of the road. So I run and get in the car or whatever. So we go, he was like, well, I'm gonna take you to a pool hall or whatever. We're gonna chill, everybody chill there. You know what I'm saying? We could be like a real couple in there, because, you know, ain't nobody tripping for real. And so he was like, I was like, where my gifts at? You got me all out here. You got me all out here. He said, I got you there in the trunk. And so when he said, when we pull up to the pool house, I get there. I don't want to be out here, you know what I'm saying, in the middle of the night. Somebody might come run up on me or something. So, because he was very paranoid. But I imagine in the business you was in, you had to be paranoid. So when that happened or whatever, Sierra just took off like, hey girl, it's been a long time, I miss chilling with you, whatever. She always with a vibe. She was really cool. She knew what was going on wrong. You could tell her eyes were always like a mama, like a concerned mama. But at the same time, she didn't care, because every time she drove with him, he gave her a stack of money. So it was like, hush, mama, like, you ain't seen nothing, you don't know nothing. And it ain't no telling what she seen. He probably was dropping me off, doing stuff, going to the next one house. Because if you think he was just waiting on me to bust somebody down, he was not. I'm pretty sure I was one of many. But he put a lot of energy in me because he won't get nothing from me. So we pull up to this pool house, And she was like, you can come on in or whatever. But it automatically, when we pull up, I had this bad feeling that if I go in that pool house, something was going to happen to me. But eventually, y'all, I went in, right? So I went in there, and it was a lot of older guys. So let's say it looked like the guys in there were like 30, 37, 38. And again, y'all, I was 15 years old. They all look older than me. And I'm like, okay, it's like 4 girls in there, and then it's like probably like 8 guys, right? So then while we in there, we chilling. He was like, babe, do you know how to play pool? And I knew how to play pool. My aunt Titi, if you watch the other story time, what I was talking about, her man wanted me or something like that. That story time, that aunt, she had taught me, the lady from the church, she had taught me how to play pool. So I knew how to play pool very well. So I'm like, no, I play a little bit. Well, and he was like, well, we bet money in here. And I was like, give me some money. So I'm telling him, I'm telling Chicky, give me some money. Cause I ain't got no money to give him, but he got plenty of money. So he gave me a stat, he gave me 1,000. So I put 1,000 on the table because I know I was like it. So we get to playing pool. Now I ain't played pool in a minute. So I might get wiped out, but then I knew how to play pool. But I don't know if I know. I whooped them back to back. I played him. He was like, no. He put 1,000 because I put 1,000. That's 2. Boom. He was like, let's play it again. You know what I'm saying? Let's play it again, but let's put 2 up there. Okay, he won't bring the money back. I'm like, yeah, we can play again. Because he was like, that's just beginner's luck. That's beginner's luck. So I whooped him. So I done got this man for $4,000. So everybody else want to play me too. It's like, dang, she good, she nice. Where you get her from? She is nice, where you get her from? And so he was like, I didn't know that you could play pool. You play good too. And so I was playing it, y'all. I was playing that pool. Before I knew it, y'all, I had $6,000 because they kept putting up 1,000. They kept giving 1,000. He kept giving 1,000 to put up. And before you know it, I had 6,000. And another guy was like, shoot, I bet all. Let's play all. He put 6 on the table, and I put my little 6 on the table. And he was like, winner win all. And I'm like, okay. And I won't sweat it because this originally wasn't even my money. And so when that happened or whatever, he was like, you better win my money, right? Because he said, you better win my money, man. I was like, oh, I got you. So I won that game. So now the dudes is in there kind of pissed off at me because they like, you done brought a hustler in here to hustle us out our money. But like, I ain't know she could play pool for real. Do she look? She right, priestess. She don't look like she can play no pool for real. So y'all, I had to won all that money. You hear me? I had $12K. Okay. Now, I don't know. I'm 15 years old. I don't know what to do with $12K. But I was so nice and stupid. I was like, y'all can have y'all money back. I don't want y'all money. Y'all can have y'all money back. I just felt like it was going to be a problem. I wasn't going to make it home. So I'm like, y'all can have your money back. It was just a fun game. They were like, no. And won't none of them take their money. No, Shawty, you won it. You Shawty. We ain't pressed about that. We going to make that tomorrow. We going to make that money back tomorrow. I'm thinking like, who is this being in the house? He was like, we all work in the same field, but we all from different area codes. And he was like, we come and meet like once or twice a month. And so we just meet in a pool hall. And it was just a pool hall, but it really just looked like it looked like a pool house, but it was like on a back road, And so then I was like, well, I'm gonna go sit in a car because I don't feel like my stomach started feeling, because I was scared, y'all, because in my head, this is a lot of money and I don't want to take this money because you said they're in the same line that you. So these dangerous people, I don't want nobody be underlined mad, like acting like they okay and they mad. I'm like, y'all sure, because I can give you money back. I don't want no problem. I don't want no problem for Chinky, you know what I'm saying? Because I came in here, because I promise you, he did not know that I know. And they was like, no, Shawty, you good? We going to make the end of the day. We going to make that money back tomorrow. Like, we ain't sweating on that. I know ain't nobody. And there was a dude in there, you could tell that he was like over them or something, because he just was like, he just looked like big time. And it was 4 girls, like I said in there, they all with him. He just looked like maybe this was a plug or something. There never was no drugs or nothing. They were drinking. I didn't drink. They offered me a drink. I told them no, I don't drink. They did make me a lemonade. And then there was an older lady that was in the kitchen cooking up something. And so it was like, what you want? She cooking fried fish. She cooking hush puppy. She cooking this. She cooking fries. You know, she got some coleslaw. What you want? I'm like, just make me a plate. And I eat it in the car because my stomach started feeling crazy. I was scared, y'all. I'm like, these people gonna knock us over the head. Or we gonna go down the road. They gonna bust the tires out. In my mind, they you know, these are the things that I see about gangsters on TV. So I'm like, why did I come outside with it, man? So I go to the car, I'm scared. So then if you remember I said before, his Sierra had told me before, you can finesse him for real. So when we get in the car, she was like, you remember the last time when I said you could finesse him for real? I'm like, why? She was like, he's illiterate. I was like, illiterate mean he can't read? Yeah, he can't read, count, write, or nothing. So the same thing you're doing for him, like if you used to count the money and stuff, I would count the money, but I would just tell him that it's one thing and he don't know. So anytime he offer you money or ask you call, just take off what you want to. He's not gonna know no different. I've been doing this to him about 5 years. I'm like, you supposed to be his friend. Why would you do him like that? She was like, cause I want the money. Well, why don't you just ask for it? He clearly getting to it. Like, he getting to the bed. Why don't you just ask him? So at this time, I really took on the girlfriend role. Like, why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I even learned when I had my salon, y'all, people don't care. If I was making people $1,000 a day, or in a week's time, you in your kitchen, you will make it $400 to $500. You work with me when business was popping and people coming in, you making $1,000 a week. But you still want $2 more if the $2 gonna come in instead of giving what's mine. You know what I'm saying? So I learned that about people early on. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this man is supplying you, like giving you money every time you drive, and I'm pretty sure he got to go a lot of places. Why are you cheating this man? And so, you know, I just was like, that didn't sit well in my stomach. So I knew that at some kind of way I had to detach myself from these people because I didn't like shadiness. She was shady. And then this whole situation was shady. For them to know, because I was like, as a little girl, I was shaped like a little girl. I looked like a little girl. But that particular night, I had on baggy clothes. I remember I had on a baggy Nike suit. And it was like an all black Nike suit, and it was a red checks on it. And I remember that, and I had on some Air Force Ones. But I clearly looked like a little child. I looked at 15 years old. I know I did. I did have my long curly hair out or whatever, but I think people just minded their business or this was something that he usually do because nobody just, you know, when I went in there, oh, you got another little young thing, So when I went to the car, y'all, they was still in there. They didn't come outside. He was like, when I'm done, I'll come. Or when your plate is ready, I'll bring your plate out here or whatever. Just sit, you'll be okay. Well, I'm gonna bring some ginger ale. He made somebody go run and go get me some ginger ale from the store or whatever. I told him my stomach was feeling queasy or whatever and stuff like that. I told him I ate something that day that didn't agree with my stomach. And I was like, I should have had told you before I left so I wouldn't come out. Whole time, y'all, I'm scared. I'm about to really dookie on myself because I'm like, Lord Jesus, Lord, just please get me home. So I get in the car, I'm on my phone or whatever, you know, scrolling on social media, whatever. And at this time, I can't remember what was popping, but I really think Facebook was still popping. I think Facebook was popping at that time. And I'm just scrolling through, just reading stuff, whatever. Then I hear a little tap on the window, like tap, tap. So I'm looking up and I'm thinking it's Shingy, but it's not. It's one of the dudes from the inside, right? So this is why you should stay your tail home, okay? Because you never know. You know what I'm saying? You could come there and you could be safe with the people that you're with, but it take one instant and 1 minute for you to be unsafe. So I, you know what I'm saying? Being young and naive, the window wouldn't roll down because I didn't have the key. So I unlocked the door. And so this man got in the back seat with me. And so when he got in the back seat with me, he was like, you are so beautiful. What is your name or whatever? I'm Shingy friend or whatever. I just want to come out here and just commend you and shake your hand because like you really came in there and played these niggas. You know what I'm saying? You got to the bed tonight or whatever. He was like, what's your pretty self gonna do with all this money or whatever? I said, I'm gonna give it to Shingy. He was like, why? I was like, I just feel like it's too money. I kept trying to give it back to y'all. He's on some, no, you need to go do something with it. You need to go do something. I was like, nah, I'll probably just give him half, you know what I'm saying? Or tell him to hold it for me or something like that. And he was like, man, you sound like you moving like him. Got him holding bags for you and stuff like that. And we were joking. And so I just thought I was good. Next thing I know, this man rubbing on my leg. I'm like, whoa. I said I was with Chingy. Like, he was like, well, we tend to share girls, you know. we tend to share good. I was like, well, I ain't agreed to share nobody. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, don't touch my leg. But this man didn't pay no attention to what I'm saying. He rubbing my legs. I'm talking about, he was like, oh my God, you just so soft. He heard what I said. But I was not one of them, like, I was scary and I was nervous, but I knew what he was doing was wrong. So then he trying to rub his hand in the middle part. I'm like, hey, get off of me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, get off of me. Don't put your hands on me. So the next thing I know, Chingy walk up and like, what the fuck you in the car for with her? I'm like, this nigga rubbing on my leg. Next thing you know, nigga, you done tried my hoe the last time. I'm like, why am I a hoe? But anyway, he's like, you done tried my bitch for the last time. I went from being a hoe to a bitch. You done try my bitch for the last time. The last time I brought a girl up here, you gonna come in the car and try to rub on her and shit. No, you gotta see me. You gotta see me. So they scuffling all. I'm talking about they scuffling back and forth. It was the hardest fight I ever seen. It was just people being thrown. They were throwing each other. It was a toe-to-toe match. Then he failed. The ultimate failed. The other dude, I'm gonna call him the other dude. He failed, and then it would Chick was messing him up. And I'm like, yeah, get him, cause that nigga had me up, you know. And I jump out the car and kick him a couple of times. Cause you got me fucked up, you nasty ass nigga. I don't even move like that. I'm a virgin for real. And so by this time, everybody that was coming in, they come outside. When I said that, it was just like you piranhas. And if you drop some blood in the water, when I said it, I'm a virgin, you trying to try me on some stuff, they were like, alert, you done brought a little virgin out. You said she was a virgin. Oh God, okay. You don't want to share? You don't want to put it over? Like, they were looking at me like I was a golden prize. Like, don't ever try to try me like that. I was like, I want to go home. Take me home. Like, I'm pissed off. He was like, you good. I'm gonna make sure you good. So they picked him up or whatever. He was busted up. I'm talking about nose dripping, mouth dripping, everything. So he was like, I'm gonna see you fuck nigga. He talking to Chingy, and I'm thinking like, just leave. So he was like, I'm gonna see you on the street, baby girl, make sure you ain't with him. Come and see you too. You ain't gonna never see me, baby. I don't ride where he ride at, okay? I'm from the suburbs. You know what I'm saying? That's what I told him. I'm from the suburbs. You would never see me because you don't never look like you could live where I live at. So don't ever try me. He was like, you hard? Because he was like, ain't nobody hard. You nasty. You nasty. Trying to take care of advantage of someone. You was a fuck nigga. That's what you is. And I'm talking cash money junk. Because I'm mad. Like, I ain't come out here for this. Now y'all doing too much. Take me to the hills now. I need to go home. And so I'm mad. My heart pounded 1,000 minutes. Then the old lady came outside like, baby, I got your plate and I wrapped it up or whatever. So she gave me that plate, and y'all, that plate calmed me all the way down. It must have had some sleeping medicine because, baby, I ain't gonna lie, I tore that plate up. I ate all the way on the way home or whatever. So we get there, he keep trying to talk to me, but I won't say nothing. He keep on saying, you all right, babe? You good? He wasn't gonna do nothing to you. I had already seen that people was missing, so I was trying to see what was going on because this nigga done tried one of my girls before. And I'm like, He was like, when I said that, first of all, I told him, you know what I'm saying, you should never left me outside by myself. If I said I wasn't feeling good, that was your key to take me to the house. And I'm like, since you can't respect my feelings and what I got going on, just take me to the house. I don't want to talk about nothing. He was like, oh, this is our first argument. Look at her, she mad, ain't she cute? Like telling Sierra, like, she cute, ain't she? She mad for real. She got a little face. I always liked her because she fights it, but she bad for real now. I like that. And I'm thinking like, oh, you think this is a joke? This is not a game. Take me home, okay? Okay, because I'm mad, like I'm boiling, because I'm like, this man really tried me like that. And then like that will be my first experience, somebody taking me and doing whatever they gonna do to me. Like take me in the house. I'm a child, I need to be home, my bed, my daddy. And I couldn't even tell him where I was at, on a dark road. Come get me on a dark road. I put myself in some stupid situation. So we pull up down the street where so I met them at. He tried to get out. Like when I get out the car, he get out on the other side, but before I go, he take my hand. He was like, you ain't gonna give me a hug? I'm like, I don't want to hug you. Like, you really put my life in harm's way. He was like, nothing gonna happen to you ever, shorty. When you with me, nothing's gonna happen to you when you tripping for real. I'm not tripping for real. This man was trying to take my goods, okay? He was trying to take my goodness. This man had a plan. You stayed in there 2 seconds longer. I've been out there fighting for their life. This man was like probably 350 pounds of straight muscle. He looked like he just got out of the pen yesterday. Like, this man had a plan, and you weren't there where you were supposed to be. So if you can't keep me safe, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Because this would never happen under my daddy watch. So he was just like, just give me a hug before you go. Just give me a hug before you go. And I was like, okay. So I gave him a hug. He gave me a long hug like he would never see me again, baby. Because I was like, I'm done. You done scared me. You done did too much. You did too much the last time I saw you. And now you did this is too much, honey. You got my blood pressure up. So I walked back to the house. I open the door. The door goes, Scared. I'm like, yeah, I'm called. The light's about to come on. And then once I got the screen door closed, I was like, making all this noise to close. I'm like, Lord Jesus. And I'm trying to pull the screen door, but it ain't coming all the way. So when I finally pull it thing, it says, boom. And I'm like, Jesus. Yeah. So on top of all this, I'm gonna get my tail to work tonight, because I would have heard it if I was asleep, but they must be dead asleep, but I don't know what was going on, because I left at 12, but I came back at 3 o'clock in the morning. And so I'm like, Jesus Christ, Lord, just help me, please. And it's crazy, because I would ask him, Lord, everything. Like, please, because I knew that he could hear my prayers. Like, please, can you just get me in the house where I can get my tail to up, please? I've been through enough tonight. So the door closed. Then I had to get the big door closed. I got the screen door closed. Then I scared shit. I'm like, when did this door get this loud anyway? So then I shut the door. But when you shut the door, it make this sound like boom, 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 boom. And it was an old door, so you had to push it in, and you had to push it all the way in to lock it. So I'm like, doo, doo, doo. I'm like, oh my God. And then lock the door. Even the lock just seemed to me loud. I wiggle it, make sure it was locked, and then boom, I tiptoe through the house. So it's like scared, because I'm tipping toe through in the house, but this is an older house and it's making all this noise, so I'm stopping just in case somebody wake up and they be like, hey, do you hear something walking? And I just count down. Maybe if I count to 20, they'll be like, you hear something? And you don't hear nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Then I would keep doing it. And then boom, we had a 2-story house, so my room was upstairs. Upstairs, it was 19 steps to go up there. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get caught. But my thing is like this: I had already had my nightgown and my bonnet in the bathroom, so I could just put it over my clothes. So I went to the bathroom. There was a bathroom downstairs, so I went to the bathroom. So if somebody got up, I literally had to do was throw my bonnet and have my nightgown and just come out like I had came downstairs to use the bathroom. So once I got in the bathroom, I just felt like I'm good, okay? So boom, I get upstairs or whatever, and I just lay down. And my sister was like, well, daggone, I didn't text you 3 times. But where we was at was out of range. So as soon as I got in my room, all the text messages coming in. She just texting me. Where you at? Are you good? Are you okay? You usually text me at right now. I woke up and you won't hear. You didn't tell me you was going nowhere tonight. Because sometimes I tell them that sometimes I would just sneak out. Because I just didn't want her in my business. I ain't want nobody in my business. And I don't think that my sisters knew about this man right here. I think they knew I had a roster, because I talk to a lot of people. So they be like, who your sister talk to? She talked to a lot of people. So I didn't tell, like, this man was a secret. So she knew that I was going to sneak out with somebody, but she didn't know who I was sneaking out with. So anyway, I made it back safe. She was like, I'm so glad you okay. I'm like, I'm fine. I did not tell her about what happened, because then she would have been the police and probably told on me. But I just didn't tell her. I was like, yeah, I'm good. I had a good time or whatever. She said, you smell like fried food. Why you didn't bring me there? I was like, how? Don't you think mama would have smelled that food? She was like, she would smell you when you come in here. Girl, you should have washed off or something before you came back. You smell just like fried fish and something else and cabbage, and you smell good. Like, dang, what you doing? I told her everything I ate, whatever. And then after a while, he texted me and he was like, did you make it back in safe if you good? Because I can't go to sleep until I know you good. I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm laying in my bed now. He was like, okay, but sweet dreams. And so I went to sleep, and y'all, that alarm clock runs so fast. because I got up at 6 o'clock every morning to get ready, you know, to go to school. So I went to school, everything normal, everything good. But in my mind, I was like, I got to cut this thing off. And so I kept letting him. And back in the day, if I wanted to cut something off, y'all, I was no good in cutting things off. Like, I could never just be like, I'm going to send a text message and just say it's over, you know. But I'm just like, this ain't for me. This is too dangerous. I can't keep putting myself in these dangerous ways, because one day I ain't gonna be able to come back home because somebody really did something to me. And like I'm like, no, he's too dangerous for me. So I'm gonna have to cut him out. But I'm like, maybe I'm gonna just try to ignore him, okay? And so that's what I did. Every time he texted me, I wouldn't text back. I would go to the games, but then I stopped going to the games because he was sending messages through different people, like pay them to come tell me, hey, Chicky said he's sitting out there in the car, come talk to him in the car, this and the thing. And I wouldn't come. I would leave. I would ask my cousin, can you text me? Can you come get me? And I would leave and stuff like that, because I just didn't want no parts. And I'm thinking, like, after a while he'd get it. So I did this for like 3 months, and then he popped up at my job. And so he just popped up at his job, and he was like, so you don't want to talk to me no more? He came in, ordered his food, whatever. He don't want to talk no more. I was like, man, I just ain't had time to talk to nobody. And after that night, that's like, to me, that was kind of traumatizing. And I don't feel like you seen it like I seen it. Like, I really feel like you can't protect me. So I'm good. Like, I don't want to come with nowhere with you if every time I come somewhere with you, I feel unsafe. You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, I just feel like you too old for me anyway. Because y'all got to think, if I met him, I was 13. And then I met him and he was 26. 27, 28, 29. He's 29 now. So like, I just feel like you too old for me and you need to get somebody your age. And he was like, nah, because you about to be 16. I'm like, but it's still too old. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I just don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I just don't want to no more. He was like, that's straight. Then he was like, well, I'll see you around or whatever, but text me if you ever change your mind, because I really want to be your man. I was like, okay, I got you. So y'all, I'm thinking that's good. 3 days later, this man come up there pissy drunk. I'm talking about pissy drunk. I had work to close because a lot of people had called out or something. This was a Friday night, and let's say it was about 9 o'clock. We closed that night at 11. And then he came in there, and see, when he first came in there, everybody knew that I had some dealings with him or whatever. And so when he came in there, he was pissy. I'm talking about pissy drunk. But instead of coming to the front and ordering, he came to the side. And anybody know that on the side there's a side door, so all the employees can come in behind the counter. So he knocked on the door. I need to speak to Barbie. I need my pretty in my life. I can't keep doing life without her. I can't. I gotta talk. But he's loud, y'all. He's yelling. I'm at my work. You know what I'm saying? There's no customers inside. All the customers is coming through the drive-through. So luckily that was for me. But he's so loud. My manager like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, can you be quiet? Like, be quiet. I'll come out there and talk to you. He was like, if you don't come out here and talk to me, I'm finna set it off in here. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come out there and talk to you. So I was like, look, I need to go outside for a minute, because if I don't, he finna act the fool. And so y'all, he is just crying. Y'all open up the door, he breaks down crying. And he, you know, y'all, it's been like, it ain't even been that long. Now I said it was 3 days, y'all. It really was 3 weeks. And he is in tears. And for one, this is the hardest dude at this time, this hardest dude that I knew beside my daddy. Tears. I had never seen my daddy try no tears. So I'm thinking, like, what is he crying? Maybe somebody died. Maybe something happened to his daughter. I'm like, something happened to your daughter? Like, what's going on? Because that's what he was talking about. He loved his daughter with all his heart, and something happened that he'll be in shambles. So I thought, like, that's what was going on, and I was feeling bad for him. He was like, no, you left me. I can't do life without you. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And y'all, he was pissy drunk. I'm talking about he was pissy drunk. He was slurring his words. He could barely stand up. And I'm like, how you get here? He was like, I drove myself now. I already told y'all he ain't had no license. I was like, where's Sierra at? He was like, man, she said she had something to do tonight. She wouldn't drive me. She was like, I ain't been making no plays. I ain't made no money. He was like, I can't think without you. I can't breathe without you. I can't do life without you. I need you in my life. Just say you'll be my girl again. And I'm like, I can't be your girl. You too dangerous to be around, sir. He was like, you just don't understand. I don't have nothing else to live for. And then he started talking about how he went to the doctor. Y'all, I'm just talking about, he was so drunk that he was telling me stuff he ain't supposed to. And like I told y'all before, I ain't never did nothing sexual with this man ever in my life. The only thing I done with this man at this time is gave him a hug, and he would kiss my jaw, and he would kiss my neck. And I put it out there because somebody gonna try to twist something or whatever, okay? And my status is good, okay? So this man started crying and saying that, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, he was violated when he was younger, and he's telling me all this stuff, and that he's had HIV since he was younger, and nobody has ever loved him because everybody know his status, and nobody has ever loved him like I loved him. I purely loved him, and he just want to marry me. He know I was young, he know it was wrong, but he want to marry me. And if I could just accept him for what he is, that we could just be happy together, he'll take care of it. I won't have to work, I don't have to go to school, he would just take care of everything for me. I'm sitting there like, bro, do you think I'm quitting school to marry you? And you just said you got HIV. It's giving no for me, okay? It's giving no for me. But I ain't do him like that. You know what I'm saying? I do him like that now. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, I had heard of HIV before, but I just knew it was a disease that you couldn't get rid of. I didn't know the depths of it. So my supervisor then came out there because he is so loud. They can hear him in the drive-thru now. So she's like, well, hold up, what's going on? And he's screaming. He's screaming, y'all, I got HIV. I got HIV. And nobody will love me. And you just came in my life and love me. I'm like, look, you need to lower that down. I'm like, look, I don't know him, y'all. I don't know. They was like, and then the little messy girl that really wanted him. Yes, you do. He come out here all the time. Girl, you got HIV. I said, I thought you would have to have sex to get that. I'm still a virgin. Okay. She was like, girl, you a virgin? Then she was so getting, oh, you're still a virgin. I thought for sure you would have did something. She was like, the second week, and then this is how shady she is. She was like, I knew he had AIDS. Everybody here know he had AIDS and stuff like that. I said, well, why would you flirt with him? Because when I would flirt with him, I was just trying to pass time away. But then somebody told me, you know, you be flirting with that dude, but you know he got AIDS. And I'm like, he was drunk, y'all. So he was like, I don't got no motherfucking AIDS. I got HIV. Get my shit right. And I'm thinking like, I wouldn't yell at nobody. So I'm putting my hand over his mouth like, shh, just calm down, because they're going to call the police on. And then the manager come out there like, look, sir, no matter what your status is, you can't be in here yelling. This is a place of business. Y'all going to have to handle this off clock. So now I'm embarrassed, because now everybody going to run around like, girl, the man came up, somebody got AIDS. And you know, that was just somebody she messing with. And I got it, y'all. I'm still a virgin. Don't do me. Like, don't do me for real. But you know somebody gonna twist it. So I just started like, hey, you got to go. And I'm trying to calm him down. He was like, man, I don't give a fuck about going back to no jail. If I can't have you, they might well come and get me. He kept doing it. If I can't have you, they might have come get me, because I can't do life without you. You are my life. I can't do life without you. And he was just toe up. Then he would take my lip and say, I can't do life without you. He pointed his lip. So y'all of me, he just pointed his lip. I can't do it. And I'm like, oh, don't touch me in the face. Like, you doing too much. You got to calm down. Like, you got to calm down. And y'all, then he started breaking down crying again. Nobody loves me. And I'm like, Jesus, take the wheel. Somebody come get it, because baby wet. So anyway, I finally get him to calm down. I go get him some tissue. We get him something to drink. We sit him down in the dining room. I called Sierra, say, girl, he is up here embarrassing himself. He done told everybody he got HIV. She was like, yeah, he done had that for a while and stuff like that. And that's one of my jobs. You know, I drive him around. I make sure he take his medicine. Not a girl's girl. If you know that man got that, why would you not tell me that? She was like, but you won't fucking him for it, though. And I'm thinking like, it don't matter. What if I just, you know, you won't with us all the time. What if I just be like, okay, well, I like him. He's nice. And then I got this shit. And then on the first try round, like, girl, that's something you supposed to tell. She was like, that wasn't my business to tell. And I'm thinking like, but you would tell me that you would hit a leak on him, basically. Steal from him, that's cool, but you ain't gonna tell me like this man's sick for real. She was like, yeah. She was like, yeah, but that really wasn't my business to tell for real. But I'm gonna come get him, tell him to chill out. I'm gonna come get him, whatever. And I was like, well, he's hyperventilating, he's sweating, he looks very malnourished and stuff. Oh, she was like, she knew his medicine that he need. Oh, he need his medicine. And I was like, he smelled like a skunk. He been drinking. He not supposed to drink. That makes his immune system. She knew everything. Like, I think he really hired her to be a nurse because she knew everything about it. She was like, well, just get him to sit down because if he get too over, he could go to the hospital. This could be very, very bad to him. So then when she told me that, I really got concerned because I didn't know the ins and out, but I didn't want nobody to die because of me because you know what I'm saying? He was just so I just started telling him whatever he want to hear. Okay, we're going to work this out. All right, I just want you to calm down. Take a deep breath. Come on, drink some of this right here. And I'll give him a cup. Drink some of this. Just calm down. Sierra's on the way. She going to go get you. And we'll talk about it tomorrow. And then Sierra actually pulled up. It took her 10 minutes because she really lived down the road. 10 minutes. She came, pulled up, went and took him, whatever. Got the cousin to come back, get his car, whatever. And then just took her to the house. And I called him that night. And I said, look, I can't be with you. Don't come to my job ever again because I don't no longer work there. They fired me because of you. Now, this was cap. But what I told my boss was, if you see him, you know what I'm saying, who me so I can run to the back. But what I did was I took off 2 weeks. I was like, take me off the schedule for 2 weeks. And then I come back because I know he going to send people up there. And so that's what I did. I took off for 2 weeks. And then every time I worked in the drive-thru. I didn't work in the front or I worked in the back, and he would come up there sometime. And then everybody was like, hoo. And then we knew that for me to go in the back or to duck down so he wouldn't see me in there. And that went on for like 2 months where he would just hoo. And so I remember we had a staff meeting and they brought it up like, girl, what in the world was going on with you? That man that was in here pissy drunk. I was like, he was like a dope boy I was dealing with, and he was way too old for me. And I guess he was trying to finesse this V card because baby, I wasn't trying to give nothing. It was like, yeah, we know you're still a virgin. You know you're still a virgin or whatever. I was like, nah. I was like, I didn't want to. He was just supposed to be a play, you know what I'm saying? Because hanging around them, I began to talk like them. So they really thought that I was cool because I'm talking like them because I've learned all this slang, like, because Sierra don't put me on. I'm talking like them. I'm like, he really just was a play for real. And you know what I'm saying? That went too far or whatever. But I was like, but nah, I won't never coming off nothing. I won't never coming off no meow for him or whatever. But he was just a cool little play. And so I'm talking like that. And they looking like, what happened to the little good girl that came in here? Yeah, you done hung around him too long because now you sound like a gangster. I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It just went left or whatever. And, because this girl had taught me so much slang, I didn't know what nothing meant. And I'm like, well, can you tell me what that? And they used to laugh at me like, dang, where have you been at under a rock? I'm like, yeah, but we don't talk slang in my house. So I just learned all this slang and I was just explaining it to them. And they understood everything I'm saying. I had to Google some of the stuff I was saying, but they understood what I was saying. But y'all, I am so glad that I was a girl that did not move fast. I want a girl that was out there, and that, you know what I'm saying, the little woman intuition I had, I really used it. I didn't use it all the time, but I'm glad that I came out of this situation. And so after about 3 months, he stopped coming up there. He ended up getting locked up again, and he ended up getting 5 years. When he got out, I saw him again. And when I saw him again, not because he texted my phone and that, because I'm grown by then. You know what I'm saying? I'm grown. I'm in my 20s now. By then, I literally went to the gas station and he said, hey, pretty. And I turned around and he had these 2 little girls in the back. One of them looked like his daughter that was in the picture, was a little older, but he had another one that looked like it was like 2 or something. And so he was like, hey, pretty. I'm like, Dad, you recognize me? He was like, yeah, you done grown up and filled out. He was like, I bet you fucking now, ain't you? I'm like, a little bit. Just a little bit. And he was like, I've been keeping my eye on you. I even came to your graduation or whatever. He was like, I came to your graduation and everything, but I made sure you didn't see me because I didn't want to ruin your day or whatever. But he was like, I'm so happy that you grew up to be something, because I was thinking that at that time I was working at a prison. I've been working at a prison by that time for like 2 years. And so he was like, yeah, I heard you started a correction now. You the police now. And I'm like, yeah. I had got used to that bag you were throwing, you know what I'm saying? I gotta make sure I take care of take care of myself. So he was like, yeah, I heard you had a little boy and all that, whatever. And at the time I only had one son. I got two now, y'all. But he was like, hey, I heard you had a little boy. I'm like, dang, you was really paying attention. He was like, yeah, I have people watching out for you, whatever. I think you made it very clear to me, hey, you won't dealing with me. And I just felt like, to be honest, he was like, I really miss meeting people that was in awe of me. And that's what you made me feel. You made me feel like you was in awe of me. Everything I was showing you was new. You won't use the money like that when I met you. So he was like, it was a real good feeling. But he said, to be honest, my old ass ain't had no business. He told me clear that I ain't had no business even looking at you. I never had no business even looking at you or whatever. But he was like, I'm so glad that your mama raised a girl, a really good classic girl. And he said, that's what really made you special to me, because you won't moving like no hoe. He was like, usually you buy a girl two things and they ready to open up their leg whether they ain't doing nothing or not. He was like, you didn't move like you had a plan and you stuck to that plan. You was like, you was going to school, you went to college, you know what I'm saying, you don't went, you know what I'm saying, got you a career now. He was like, and I'm proud of you. I'm really proud of it. But he was like, yeah, I kept my eye on you. He was like, and he even thanked me for being there with him that night about him crying, because he was like, he really had a lot of stuff built up. And then he was like, I was in and out of prison and stuff like that. You didn't deserve no lifestyle like that. And I was like, yeah, and whatever. He was like, but can I get a hug? I'm like, sure, you can get a hug or whatever. You can get a hug. And I asked him, was he taking care of himself? Because, he revealed his status to me. He was like, yeah, he explained it was some hard days. He was explaining the disease. And we sat there and talked for with the girls in the car. We talked about 35, almost 40 minutes and stuff like that. He was like, keep doing what you're doing. He was like, don't let these fuck niggas take you down. And just keep doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And if you ever want to talk, I'm one phone call away. I'm like, nigga, I don't want to talk to you. Ain't no little girl no more. I ain't finna hide behind no phone, baby. I don't want to talk to you for real. You got some things I ain't trying to get. You hit me? And he was like, see, you gonna make a joke out of anything, ain't you? I'm like, for real. He was like, listen, I wish you well. But I didn't judge him. But I'm like, if you knew that you had something, why you didn't tell me that? He said, because you wouldn't talk to me. Duh. You wouldn't talk to me. He was like, but I'm not like that now. He was like, because most of the people in his area, they already know. And he said he was with a woman and he was married. He was getting married. He was engaged when I was talking to him. And he was like, I led with that. I told him that, hey, woo, woo, woo. And y'all, he showed me this woman. This woman looked just like me. I said, well, how old is she? He said 21, still messing with them young girls. That's what I said. You still ain't learned. Because if I was in my 20s, then he was, y'all, if you calculate it, he had to be about in his 40s. Still messing with them young girls. He said, but at least she legal. I said, I know that's right. Maybe you learn a little bit. But he met a woman that accepted his status. I personally felt like their status was the same. But hey, she looked just like me. The only difference was that her eyes was legit, like she was born with green eyes, okay? And he was like, she just accepted me. She had heard through the grapevine that he had some things, and he said, I led with it, like, hey, this is my condition, and if you don't want to mess with me, you don't want to mess with me. And he was still had a lifestyle, and I guess she wanted the lifestyle, and they had a little girl together. I don't know nobody's status other than his, because he told everybody that had the ears to listen. Even in the drive-thru, they knew what his status was. But that won't none of my business. All I said, she accepted you. I was like, yeah, she must have already had it or something. He was like, no, she ain't got it. She still don't got it. I said, okay, and stuff like that. And I feel like he ran me a lot of their business I ain't need to know. I was like, oh, okay. Well, all right. He was like, my daughter don't got it now. We get her tested every year. She don't got it at all either. And my older daughter don't got it. And so we get them like he running business. Baby, they ain't in my business. Whoever got it, long y'all taking care of each other. She agreed to it. Because if not, you can go to jail now. He was like, yeah, that's why I start disclosing off the rip. Because he said there's a couple of dudes in there and you can get a lot of time for that. I'm like, yeah, just make sure you disclose now. He was like, yeah. He was like, nah, but I'm getting married. And he got married, I want to say after our conversation, because like we used to get newspapers in the prison, you know what I'm saying, when I worked as a correction officer. And he got married, and it was like I remember an article in the newspaper about this big wedding. I'm like, oh, okay, I see you. He had a nice wedding for it to make the newspaper, and he had it in his city, in like his little town, so a lot of people came and it talked about it, you know what I'm saying, and what her family background was and all that, and I'm like, okay, so he did it, you know what I'm saying, and I was happy for him. I was happy for him. He had met somebody that accepted him for what he was and his lifestyle and could hang, and and he moved on and have a little happy ever after. But y'all, that is the end of the plug feeling love. Okay, I hope y'all had enjoyed this 2-part story time. This is my first time telling a 2-part, but I feel like I got about maybe 5 more in me that might be 2-part, because sometimes you just can't tell it all in one video. But anyway, I thank you so much. If you have reached this point, do me a big favor, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that like button, and y'all drop me some hearts in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. And on your way out, hit the description. Go ahead, follow me on all my socials, and visit and shop with me on Diva Supply. Anyway, love you so much. See you on the next one. Bye, besties.